you need to start bringing knives with you when you go on hikes. She wants me to cremate her, and she wants me to keep her titanium knees to make Christmas ornaments. I was walking behind him, screen full of titties. She forgot to tell me that she was hitting the Ozempi Wempy. Huh. Her new biggest fear is that she's going to be human trafficked. I feel like playgrounds in the 90s were invented to cause harm. Hey, welcome back to another episode of whatever the hell this is. Before I start, I just want to remind you, like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're liking these videos. That would help. Also, come see me on the road. I'm all over the place at this city, this city, this city, this city, this city, this city, this city. Get me at joedombrowski.com. I just do that because I like to give Brent more work. Something's happening, okay? My parents both turned 70 this year, and I feel like I am parenting parents while at the same time trying to become a parent. This all started at my wedding. Okay, we live across the country. My parents still live in Michigan. I live here in Seattle, so we don't physically see each other as much as I would have hoped. My mom shows up. She was down 47 pounds because she forgot to tell me that she was hitting the Ozempi Wempy. Huh. Interesting. Now, by the way, she makes me call her Skinny Fran, okay? Well, this one's for you, Skinny Fran. Skinny Fran shows up and she told me two things. One, now that she's skinny, her new biggest fear is that she's going to be human trafficked. I said, you're still 70, Mima. What do you think's happening here? Do you think that a U-Haul's just gonna pull up one day and roll you into the back and take you to a soup kitchen somewhere so that you can make a sheet of lasagna for the congregation? Is it possible? Yes. Is it unlikely? Also, yes. This woman has instilled so much fear in me in my life, specifically like this, okay? I told her there was a man on a hike recently that I went on, okay? He was a very friendly man. However, it did slightly creep me out. Her first thing that she said to me, you need to start bringing knives with you when you go on hikes. Calm down. Stop watching Dateline. It's gonna be okay. Also, since my parents are 70, I have started the conversation, what do you want me to do when you are no longer for this earth? A very uncomfortable conversation to have. However, one that I do assume is necessary. My mom, first of all, I do love this idea. She said at her funeral, she wants me to play the song Spirit in the Sky, and she wants me to have all the pallbearers put on sunglasses and walk her out in style. Now, if that doesn't encapsulate my mother, I don't know what does. She also told me that she wants to be cremated because she's claustrophobic and she doesn't want to be stuck in a casket. I don't see where that makes sense, but she does. She wants me to cremate her, and she wants me to keep her titanium knees to make Christmas ornaments. First of all, I think you mean Halloween. And if I'm going to do anything with those knees, I'm going to hang them up outside of the house and scare the children. So that when kids come and trick or treat, I'm going to, you see that? You know what that is? Those are Mima's knees. Horrifying. Also, they can't keep up with technology. My mom is the victim of a scam, it seems, every other day. She called me and told me that 3 of her favorite bachelors from The Bachelor are responding to her. I said, I don't think they are. She goes, yes, they are. Look, I went in. All scams, all fake. She bought tickets for Christmas for my husband and I to go see a play. It was on some, I would say, third-party vendor, but this is probably a 6th or 7th party vendor, if we're being real. It took so long for us to actually get those tickets because she's still a woman of a certain age, and that certain age is type in what you want into Google and click the very first thing that shows up. No, it's a scam, Fran. Skinny Fran, it's a scam. I bought my dad an iPad too. Had to give him a full rundown on how to use this iPad. And as a good former teacher, as soon as we were done, I said, do you have any questions? His first question looked up at me. Zero seconds went by and he said, how do you delete the history? I don't even know how to answer that question, and I don't want to know, okay? I left, came back, I was walking behind him, screen full of titties. Just village feeders and sweater stretchers galore. When he noticed I was behind him, he just looked up and he was like, how'd all these pretty girls get here? How'd they get there, Ron? How'd they get there? I think you know how they got there. Then, about 3 hours later, he screamed bloody murder from across the house because somehow a picture showed up that was It was an album cover for I don't know who, but it was two men kissing. And he yelled at me. He said, "Joe, have you been using my iPad?" Okay. First of all, I have my own. Second of all, if I was going to look up anything of that nature, it for sure wouldn't be on my 70-year-old father's iPad. So let's not get it twisted, Peepaw. Also, by the way, I call them Peepaw and Meemaw. Very tongue-in-cheek. I'm more so doing that because I know they will see this video and they will hate it. Shout out to Meme and Peep, hey! Also, I'm wondering if I should... No, I'm not wondering. I know that I shouldn't. Their parenting style was... It was fear-based. Okay, this is a true story. I have two aunts, Aunt Helen and Aunt Ginger. One time I was running around in a cornfield because we grew up in Michigan, and Aunt Helen wanted me to come back to the house. So instead of just being like, "Hey, it's time to come back now," she yells out into the cornfield, "Joey, get back here! Chucky's in the cornfield!" Chucky? I'm scarred. Aunt Helen, scarred. Every time I see a cornfield now, I think to myself, is Chucky in there? And do I need to be afraid? My Aunt Ginger, one time, I was too old for her shenanigans at this point. I was in a lake. I was asking to go back in the lake, and she said no. And I asked why, because I was that kid who asked why way too often. And she just looked at me and said, there's sharks in the lake. However, she didn't know that she was messing with a kid who knew way too much about animals. I looked at her immediately and said, "Sharks don't live in fresh water." She was stumped. She didn't know what to do. Did I get to go in the lake? I didn't, but that's a story for another day. I do often think about how did I survive? This was the 90s. This was the day of, I want to say, 25-foot metal slides on a playground with no guardrail the whole time. And you would just fly down that thing, and two things would happen to you. Either you get third-degree burns on the back of your ass, or you get a concussion because you slid down it like a friggin' missile because your older brother and or someone else on the playground decided to grease up the slide. And if you went down that slide in August, best of luck to you, you got the concussion and the burns. Do you guys remember? I haven't seen one of these on a playground in a long time. They looked like big birds with like big fat heads and beaks, and it was connected to a super heavy spring. And if you got older, like 10, 11, or 12, and you would rock on that thing, it would go all the way down to the ground. The beak would touch the ground and it'd swing back really quick. I cannot tell you how many friends I watched get nailed in the face with that thing. How'd we survive? How'd we survive the 90s? I don't know. I feel like playgrounds in the 90s were invented to cause harm. When you look around at playgrounds, you don't really see it like that. They're soft. They're cushiony. They're safe. Anyway, I'm on tour and I want you to come. So come see me on the road. And also, like, comment, subscribe. And also, if you're liking these videos, which I'm calling whatever the hell this is, because we didn't really know what this one was going to be before I started recording, but you got something. In the comments this week, I want you to tell me what other types of videos should I be putting out there. What do you want to see? What do you want to see more of? Do you want to see more stand-up? Do you want to see more behind-the-scenes stand-up? Do you want to see more of my commentary on mine and other people's stand-up? Do you want to see me create something, like do another thing with other comics or whatever? I don't know. I'm doing this not for me, but for you. So you do your part and tell me what you want to see. No idea is a bad idea unless it's a bad idea. Love you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.